I'm kidding. Oh my God. I'm making this video because I don't feel like men are allowed to speak up about the stuff that is difficult for them. In this moment where the movement of feminism is getting bigger and bigger, I get the feeling that women, not everyone, but I'm generalizing here, that women may think that men have it easier in life, that being a man is easy. So I'm making this video as a man to speak up for my fellow men out there. Disclaimer, it may sound like I'm complaining, I'm not. I'm just sharing my perspective as a man. I'm not complaining. This is just reality. This is how women feel. This is what we face in this world. I'm not complaining. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying it's good. I'm just saying what it is, okay? We men, we don't get to complain. We can't show our feelings. Men don't cry. That's what society tells us when we're kids. When I used to play soccer, sometimes I would get hurt because it's a physical sport. I would fall and then I would bruise my knee. I would bleed. It would really hurt. It would burn, okay? And all I wanted to do is cry because it was very hurtful. But we get taught that men don't cry, that men need to be strong, okay? And by doing that, we repress our feelings. We push them inside. Imagine doing that for 20 years. Now you're 20 years old and then you're trying to communicate to with a girl. And then she says that, how could you be so unemotional? How could you be so unempathetic? Well, imagine living your whole life trying to repress your feelings, and then all of a sudden, you try to communicate how you feel inside. Imagine how difficult that is. Women share their feelings with each other, how they feel. Today was a very difficult day. I was depressed. My boss was very angry at me because I did this or whatever. I'm not feeling good today. And you could write a blog about that. You could post that on Instagram. And women will come together and support you. We men, we're not allowed to do that. When was the last time you saw a man talking about how depressed he was, how difficult the world was? Did you know that around 70% of the suicides in the world are committed by men? If life was easier for men, why are men committing more suicides than women? And why is no one talking about this? We men feel the same feelings you women do, but we don't get to share them. We don't get to say, I'm feeling bad today, I'm having a rough day. We don't get to say, I'm doubting myself. I don't feel like I could do it. We don't get to say that. Because men don't cry, men don't complain, men are strong, right? I'm not saying my father taught me that. I'm very lucky that my family, we were very open and we could talk about everything. But in the same sense, I could feel when my father was repressing some stuff, the way he felt. And he's a guy that talks a lot. My father talks a lot. But you know, it's in the way of men to suffer alone. Men suffer alone by themselves. If I'm having a bad day, I can't communicate it. Not because people won't listen to me or because the society is bad or whatever. It's just the way we grew up as men, okay? There's no one bad person out there who created this thing like, hey, men can talk or whatever. No, I don't think anyone is it's guilty of this. It's just the way society developed. Maybe it has some biological points. I don't know about that. But it's just the way it is, okay? We men, we can't complain about our feelings, about how we feel. We can't come together. Imagine if I'm talking to my friends, okay? 4 men talking about how sad they feel. Could you imagine that? That doesn't happen. That doesn't happen. But that does happen with women. Women can do that. And I think that's very helpful. Because when you share your feelings, it's a way of letting go. Maybe you can get some ideas, some support, some advice. That's helpful. But we men, we suffer alone. We suffer alone. Another very difficult thing for men is the world right now expects us to have our life figured out by the time we're 20. We need to know what we're going to do with our lives when we're 20. We need to have our finances figured out. We need to have our relationships figured out. We need to have everything figured out by the time we're 20. You know how difficult that is? You know the pressure we feel? I understand women feel a lot of pressure about their bodies, okay? They need to look a certain way, okay? To be accepted in society, to have a good boyfriend, to get a boyfriend. I get that. I can understand that. That's a lot of pressure for young women. But imagine what young men feel when they get told that they need to be millionaires by the time they're 25. They need to have the prettiest girlfriend there is. They need to have a Lamborghini. They need to have a big house. They need to have a 6 figures income. Imagine the pressure. Imagine the pressure. Do you think that's easy? 20 years old, you're still a baby, okay? You're still a baby. I'm 23 years old right now. And when I was 20, I thought I knew what I was going to do with my life. I thought. But you know, the world doesn't work like that. But even though in my head, I still had this pressure, okay, I need to make money. I need to support my family financially. And that's a lot of pressure. And again, I'm not complaining, okay? I'm not complaining. I think some level of pressure is healthy and it's necessary for you to grow as a human being. I'm just saying, we men feel the pressure too. We don't talk about that, but we feel it, okay? And it's very difficult too. And you think women care about their bodies, and it's important for them how they look like? What about men? Have you seen the actors in Hollywood, how they look like? How do you think we men feel when we see that the handsome, muscular guy in the movies gets all the girls or the girl and has this lifestyle or whatever? What do you think that does to our minds, okay? Of course we compare ourselves to them. Of course we think, oh, I need to be like that too. Don't you think that's pressure? Yeah, on Instagram you see all of these Instagram models with amazing bodies, hourglass, I mean, this shape, you know. And one may think, hey, I don't look like that. I'm inferior. We men, we compare ourselves too. We see guys on Instagram ripped with muscles, jawlines perfect, okay? With perfect skin, whatever, with green, blue eyes, hair, amazing hair. Don't you think we don't compare ourselves to? Do you think that's easy for us? But we can't compare ourselves. Also, we can't say that. If we were to say that, what would society tell us? Okay, then stand up and go to the gym. Do something about that. That's men. We need to do something about the things we don't like. We can't say, I don't like that. If I say, hey, I don't like my fat here, my friend would tell me, hey, then stop eating and go to the gym. That's what men do. They don't complain, they take action. Even though you're feeling like shit inside. You feel me? Maybe you feel me, maybe you don't. Relationships are so difficult for men. I'm in a bar, I see a cute girl, and I want to talk to her. And I say to my boy, hey, look at that one, she's cute. And then he tells me, okay, go up to her and tell her something. Why don't you go to her? Say hi. Do you know what's in my head? I'm thinking, I'm feeling, hey, I don't go to her and say hi because I'm dying inside. Because I am afraid. I feel fear, okay? Do you know how difficult it is to approach a girl as a man? You have no idea. You girls, you don't get to do that because you get approached. Have you ever seen a man that you like, an attractive man? Imagine having to talk to him and saying you're interested in getting to know him. That's not easy. And whatever you feel, embarrassment, fear, like, oh, what do I say? What do I do? What if he doesn't like me? We feel that too. But we don't get to complain. We don't get to complain. We need to go up to the girl and say hi and then feel totally embarrassed because we freeze because we don't know what to say. How difficult is that? That's very difficult. That's very difficult. And I don't think women understand that. I think, I understand the perspective of women. If you're an attractive girl, you get approached all the time, okay? And that's annoying. That could be annoying. But imagine you're a guy. You're not that good looking. You're short. You don't have muscles. And you want to have a girlfriend. What do you do? Tell me, what do you do? And that's the majority of men. Because just 10% of the male population have muscles and are good looking. The rest are average looking or not that good looking. What do you do in that situation? Tinder? You can't forget about that. There's no way you're getting matches if you're not good looking on Tinder. Okay, then you gotta go talk to girls. And again, it's so difficult to talk to strangers. It's very difficult. I'm not talking about me, I'm talking about in general. Talking to strangers is difficult. And then talking to a stranger that's very attractive and a stranger you want something from, it's difficult. It's difficult. But women take that for granted. And I understand why. But it's still painful and difficult anyways. And rejection. How men get rejected all the time. And actually biologically in our brains, rejection feels the same as physical pain, okay? Like if you punch me on the face, it will hurt the same if you rejected me. How crazy is that? And we men get rejected left and right. Left and right, like, hey, what's up? Hey, how you doing? Hey, my name is Mateo. All the time. I'm not complaining, that's how life is. That's how life is. And rejection makes you grow. But again, we men, we don't get to complain about that. We don't get to come together as men and talk about how rejection is affecting our lives, destroying our self-confidence and self-esteem. No. We can talk about that, right? But we feel miserable inside when we get rejected. And what's what we hear? Man up. Man up. You feel shitty? Do something about that. We don't say that to women. We come together. We share our feelings. We talk about our feelings. Hey girl, you're gonna be good. It's all right. He was an asshole, but it's all right. Come here. Everything's gonna be all right. We men, we don't get to do that. We get rejected, okay. Then man up, do it better next time. That's not the next one. Go, boom. I think women have this idea that all men are dogs. And let me tell you, we're not. We're human beings. This debilitating lifestyle is something just a couple of men want. The majority of men I know, they want to have a girlfriend, a wife they can provide for, they can take care of. They want to have a family, a house, maybe a dog. They want to have children. They want to protect their wives, their girlfriends. They want to be a gentleman. That's the majority of men. Maybe a couple of one want to hook up with 200 girls, 300 girls, but that's not that's not the majority of men. Men want to be loyal. Men want to be appreciated too by their loved ones. They don't want to be dogs. That's a misunderstanding women have, because women are attracted to the fuckboy, the bad boy, and they're just attracted to them. And this kind of men behave a certain way, okay, and they treat women a certain way. So women are attracted just to this type of guys, and they receive this treatment from these guys, so they think all men are like these guys. But these guys are just like, I don't know, 10% of all men. So women think all men are like that. They just wanna have sex with me and then leave me. No. I have female friends and I talk to them and they tell me all men want the same. And in my head I'm thinking, girl, do you know men would cut their arms for you? Do you know there are men outside that would give a leg to be your husband? And then you're getting so mistreated by these other men. And it's crazy, and girls say, no one loves me. And in my head I'm like, what? What are you talking? Wow, it's crazy. We women, men and women, we can't communicate, man. It's so difficult. We can't communicate. We need to learn so much from one another. It's crazy. So, yeah, I think that's a misconception that women think men are dogs. Men just want this one thing, and that's it. That's just not true. You're attracted to the kind of man that only wants that. Open your mind, look for other alternatives, and then you may see another perspective of life. Being a man is difficult. Being a woman is difficult. Being a human being is difficult. Life is a struggle. That's how life is. Life is like this constant battle between you and your surroundings and trying to make the best out of it. That's life. And that happens to me as a man, that happens to you as a man or as a woman, whatever you are. That happens to every one of us. The thing is that we've only heard one side of the story. And now I'm speaking up for the men out there who are not being heard, but they want to share what they feel too. I'm not complaining. I'm not saying what we've been taught as men is wrong or the way society is wrong. No. I'm just saying, girls, we feel that too. Girls, we are the same as you. We just can't communicate that. That's it.